You're right, guys. Welcome to Football and Fitness United. My name's James, and I'm here for the match preview tonight. So hopefully you're joining me live. If you're watching back, then basically I'm filming this on the Thursday at lunchtime. And we've got a game tonight at Old Trafford. It's the return fixture. It's Manchester United versus Omonia Nicosia. After last week's result, which was 3-2, leaves us second in the group. We need to obviously win to put pressure on Sociedad. And yeah, it's a big game, and we'll get into what Erik ten Hag said in his press conference. But basically, he stressed the importance of it. He said, it's a game that we want to win. It's a competition that we want to win, and we need to take it seriously. So yeah, we're going to get into it. But first of all, I'd like to remind people, if you are joining me live, fantastic. If not, if you could drop a like on the video, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I've been doing my shorts recently, and for some reason, the channel's just taken off, and it's blown my mind, to be honest. We're on over 200 subs. We got 110 in the last 48 hours, which is absolutely insane. And that's all because you guys are liking, sharing, commenting and all that kind of stuff. And it boosts us in YouTube. You view my content, and I absolutely love that. You guys were the ones that convinced me to start the channel. So big up yourself for doing that. And yeah, I'm enjoying it, and it's going well. And it's making me fall in love a bit with Man United again, because let's face it, it's been hard for a couple of seasons. So yeah, let's get into the game. So we'll start off by talking about last week's game. So what do we know about Omonia? Not really much, to be honest. I think they're fourth or fifth in the Cypriot League. They finished seventh last season. They didn't really offer much in the last game, to be honest. I know they scored 2, but they were from defensive mistakes. And the first goal, obviously, Nicosia lost it. Sancho didn't track back, and it was a counter-attack goal totally against the run of play. And they went and took advantage of that and went 1-0 up, which was a big shock to the system. But, it was a result of us not taking our chances, and they did. And they were 1-0 at the break. And we made a couple of subs at half-time. That left side got replaced. Basically, Shaw came on for Nicosia. And Martial came on, and basically that changed the game, because that left side was weak. And with a couple of goals from Rashford and a goal from Martial, we completely turned the tie around and got a much needed win out in Cyprus, which puts us in a better position in the group, but still not in a position which we need to be in. And so last week's game, just want to touch on one thing. I saw a lot of comments after the game. Ronaldo's finished. Ronaldo has nothing to offer this Manchester United team. He can't hit a car's arse with a banjo, blah, 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 blah. Listen, how many times do you have to slate Cristiano Ronaldo? How many times do you have to come out and say he's finished for him to come and prove you wrong? It happens again and again. I can't repeat this enough, right? Cristiano Ronaldo is on the decline. We know that. He's 37. Of course he's on the decline. Of course he's not the player he was 5, 6, 7 years ago. We know that. But he's on the decline from being the very best in the world, arguably the greatest of all time. So if you're on the decline from there, you can come down slowly, and you can still be above the levels of the other players and the opposition you're playing. And let's face it, we know Martial's injury record. It's been proven again. And we need a fit and firing Cristiano Ronaldo in our squad, in our 11 a lot of the time, if we're going to be successful this season. So people getting on Ronaldo's back need to calm down. They need to realise what he's achieved. They need to realise what he can still contribute to the squad. And I imagine he's going to start tonight. I'll be amazed if he doesn't. I've put him in my starting 11. And I'd be amazed if he didn't score tonight. I think he's got a lot to contribute still. And he will score a fair few goals in this Manchester United team this season. I'm certain of it. And his all-round game was very good last week, as it was on Sunday against Everton. He's had 2 very good games in a row. Just one of them he put the ball in the net, and one of them he didn't. That's football. That's how it works sometimes. So I'm going to go into the press conference a little bit, because Ten Hag was asked a bit about injuries and stuff like that. So obviously Wan-Bissaka's out, Maguire's out, Martial's out, and Van de Beek's out. And he actually revealed that Van de Beek was a long-term injury, which we didn't really have much news about, to be honest. And that just kind of sums up his Manchester United career. I mean, the manager comes in that's supposedly going to give him a new lease of life at the football club. And not only can he not get a start, he then picks up an injury. We've got a World Cup in 6 games. And I imagine that he'll be on his way after that. It's just not worked out for Donny van de Beek at Manchester United for one reason or another. I personally think he probably wasn't good enough, but also you could argue that he's not been given the opportunity. But there's 2 or 3 managers now that have all seen him and not really fancied him. So he looks like he's going to be on his way out, and he's a long-term injury, so he's not going to get a chance anytime soon. Martial injury, we know that. He's not been in training all week, so he's looking unlikely for the game on Sunday as well. Which then brings up an interesting point, because can Cristiano Ronaldo play 2 games in 3-4 days? Can he play 3 games in 6 days? Because we're going to need him to. So that's going to be a really interesting point, because we're really short up front. We go back to that transfer window in the summer and people were talking about the ins and stuff, which is great. But including loans, we got rid of 17 players. 17 players from a squad that, yes, needed trimming, but didn't need trimming that much. And I think we're feeling the effects of that now, because we were always just a couple of injuries away from being in real trouble. And thankfully, we've not had them to our key players as of yet. Like if a Martinez or a Varane got a long-term injury, or if an Eriksen got a long-term injury, then I think we'd be in more trouble. We've got a little bit of cover up front, but not much at all. So we need to keep everyone else fit. He touched on a couple of other players as well. He touched on, you've only got Dalot as your only fit right back. Is that a problem? With Wan-Bissaka out and Ethan Laird on loan. And he basically, Lindelof was sitting with him and he basically said, I've got Victor and I've got Nicosia, so right back's no problem. So he obviously believes that both those players can play right back as well, which is fine. I arguably still think we're a little short, but he was going to say that. He was asked about Cristiano Ronaldo's game time and stuff. He said, listen, he's getting up to speed fitness-wise, and it's great to have him back in the squad. And yeah, he was asked about a few things, but at the end of the day, he reinstated the fact that we needed to win. We needed to take this competition seriously. It wasn't a case of giving people game time. It was a case of picking the strongest team that he could to go out and get the 3 points and get the job done. And I'm a big believer in that, to be honest. I think, yes, it may not be the premier European competition, but it's a European competition. It's a way back into the Champions League for one. And not only that, it's a game of football. If you enter a competition, you want to win it. That's how I see football. I'm never going to not see football that way. And you can say it's a second-rate competition, but you ask the fans who were out in Stockholm in 2017 if they care that it was a second-rate competition. They don't care. They went and saw United lift a European trophy and probably had a belt in time. They will not have cared one bit that it was a second-rate trophy. They were just happy to see their team lift a European trophy. And listen, I'm exactly the same. So I'm not going to keep it too long, because obviously I'm off to the game this evening. So I don't want to make myself late. I want to go and enjoy myself before the game. But I'm going to get on to predicted 11s. I'm going to put mine down below now. If you're in the comments and you're watching live, get your predicted 11s in. Let me see what changes you'd make, because we've already heard Ten Hag say he wants to go strong. So this is my 11. I've gone with De Gea in net. I don't think there's any other choice. I've gone with Dalot, Lindelof, Martinez, and Nicosia at the back. Now, that's not me saying that I want Nicosia to start because I think he's in better form than Shaw, because I think that's very much not true. I think Shaw's in better form, but we've got 3 games in 6 days. We've got a big game at Newcastle on Sunday. I think Luke Shaw's fitness looks good. I think Luke Shaw plays Sunday. So Nicosia is more than decent enough cover. Needs to play himself back into a bit of form, and I think tonight's the perfect opportunity to do that. So I would play Nicosia at the back. Lindelof was in the press conference, so I'm pretty sure he's going to play. And then obviously Martinez is a mainstay in this team. He's looked awesome all season, and touch wood, seems to be not very injury prone, seems to be fairly strong and made of strong stuff. So he will play. I've gone for a midfield 3 of McTominay, Fred and Bruno, and that's probably going to upset a few people. There's an argument for Casemiro needing minutes to get up to speed, and maybe he'll get 45 minutes, and I wouldn't be against that. He's obviously going to play on Sunday because McTominay's suspended. So I would make use of that, and I would play McTominay tonight. And then if you need to give Casemiro minutes, you can bring him later on. I would play Fred. I would give Eriksen a rest. As I said, 3 games in 6 days. Eriksen's been through a major health scare, man. I hate to bring it up again, but I don't want him playing 3 games in 6 days, and he's a crucial part of our team. And I think tonight is the game where we can kind of afford to rest him. I would give Fred some minutes. He's not had any minutes yet. And, if you play him in that box-to-box role and allow him to break up play further up and feed Bruno and the front 3, I think he can be dangerous. So I would give Fred a run out. Bruno is the captain. He basically always plays. And then I would play probably my strongest front 3. I don't see Sancho getting back in tonight. I don't see Elanga or Garnacho getting game time because Ten Hag said he wants to go strong. So I see it being Anthony, Rashford and Ronaldo. And I think that's what he's going to go with because we need the 3 points. And we all saw against Sociedad in the first game that the drop-off from our A team to our B team is quite high. They're not used to playing the same style of football. They're not as confident. They don't know each other's game as well. So I would be very wary of making that many changes. So I think it's fine to bring in like a Nicosia for a Shaw. He's played a lot of games this season. I think it's fine to bring in Fred because you're playing in a midfield three. I think changing one of them is okay. But I think it's relatively full strength across the rest of the pitch. And I think that's the way he has to go, to be honest, because we need a win. If you guys want to get your predicted scores in down below, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, however you're watching this, predicted scores, let's see them, because we're going to move on to mine now. And of course, I'm going to predict a win. I have to predict a win. I'm going there. I never want to see us lose at Old Trafford, so I'm going to predict a handsome win. I think we'll get quite a few goals. I think it'll be a good night to be in the crowd at Old Trafford. A nice morale boosting, confidence boosting, 4-0 victory for Manchester United. I'll go for a brace from Ronaldo. I'll go for one from Bruno. And I'll go rogue. I'll go one from Diogo Dalot. Why not? So 4-0 is my predicted score. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. We need to win. We've got a huge game coming up on Sunday. So most important thing, like it was last week, we need 6 points from the 2 games in the 2 different competitions. I think that's a must. So that's the first thing. The second essential thing we need is to stay away from injuries. We don't need any injuries to any key players across the pitch because we are short in a lot of positions. But yeah, guys, that's basically been my preview. It's a short one. I'm going to do some match reactions if I can. As I said, I'm going to be outside the ground, so I might not be back till late. So they might be uploaded later on tonight or tomorrow. Got a big match reaction coming with someone pretty special. So keep an eye out for that because it should be interesting. Great to have him on the channel. Can't wait. But yeah, apart from that, I've left that up there. Please like the video, comment, share, subscribe. As I said, over 200 subs now, which is mad. Absolutely mad. And it's growing quickly, getting thousands of views on shorts and stuff. Obviously, they've not transferred over to the full videos yet, but I'm sure that'll come in time. And yeah, everything's going really, really well. So absolutely buzzing to be doing this. Thank you, everyone who's been involved. Thanks for all the support. I get loads of support on Twitter, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, and all that kind of stuff. So big up for yourself. Wherever you're watching the game tonight, whether it's Old Trafford or at home. If you're at Old Trafford, come say hi, by the way, if you see me. Usually around like East Stand before the game, and then after the game, either outside East Stand or just around the corner near the foundation. So come find me, say hello. But apart from that, enjoy the game. I've been James. This has been Football and Fitness United. Man United versus Omonia preview. Enjoy the game. See you soon. Cheers, guys.